Now we are doing the fountain experiment, the most famous experiment, that is the fountain experiment. And why we do this fountain experiment? We do it just to prove the solubility of HCl gas in water. As you all know that HCl gas is highly soluble in water. So it can be just experimented, or it can be just proved by an experiment, that is the fountain experiment. So this is the apparatus which is shown on the screen, which is used for the fountain experiment. So what is it? See, it is a stand, right? It is a round bottom flask, as you can see. It has a rubber cork, and this is a beaker. Right, stand, round bottom flask and beaker. Now what does they actually contain? See, this round bottom flask carries the HCl gas. The round bottom flask carries the HCl gas. And what is there in beaker? In beaker we have blue litmus solution. And this round bottom flask, the mouth of this round bottom flask is actually plugged with a rubber cork. See, and that rubber cork contains two holes. One hole is for this jet tube which is going into the beaker, as you can see, and one hole is for the dropper, right. So again I will repeat: stand, round bottom flask with HCl gas, rubber cork with two holes. One hole is for jet tube, other hole is for dropper. And where this jet tube is going? It is going into a beaker which contains the blue litmus solution. Now what happens, or how we are just going to prove the solubility of HCl gas? So what happens? We just press the dropper. So what happens when we just press the dropper? This blue litmus solution rises up from the jet tube. Right. And as this blue litmus solution rises up through this jet tube, and we know that this contains, this round bottom flask actually contains the HCl gas. So this HCl gas just get, you can say, it dissolve with water. It is just soluble in water, so it just dissolves with the water. And what happens, that when it just gets dissolved with the water, so that means the pressure inside this round bottom flask, which was earlier due to the gas, right. So that means when HCl gas will dissolve in water, so obviously the amount of gas is going to be less. So less amount of gas means less pressure, right. So that means the inner pressure just falls, but outside pressure is high, the atmospheric pressure is high. So what happens, that atmospheric pressure just forces this blue litmus solution to rise up again and again, and when it rises, it just forces, or you can say it just rises with a great force, that it just comes out when it just reaches here. So when the HCl gas gets dissolved in water, it turns alkaline, this thing, it is acidic in nature, as you know. So it will turn this blue litmus solution red, and as this blue litmus rises with a great pressure, so when it will rises, it will just when it will just move from here, it will just appear as a fountain. And what will be the color of the fountain? Obviously it is going to be the red color, because the acid turned blue litmus red, as you can see in the figure, that this kind, see. So when this litmus just rises up, when it come across with the hydrogen chloride gas, it turns into red color, and due to higher atmospheric pressure and less pressure inside, right, so it just you can say blows in the form of fountain, as you can see the colored fountain which is formed here. So this is actually the fountain experiment, which explains that the HCl gas is soluble in water. And the second thing is that HCl is an acid, HCl gas is an acid which turns blue litmus red. Otherwise, if you take this thing, if you take the dry HCl gas, it is not acidic in nature. And even if you take the liquefied HCl gas, even that cannot change blue color to red. But the moist HCl, that means the HCl which contains the moisture, as I told you that here, when the blue litmus solution just rises up, obviously it has a water in it, right. So that means HCl get dissolved in water up to a such extent that it becomes and it shows an acidic nature, and that is proved that it turns the blue litmus red in color. And due to the great atmospheric pressure outside and the less pressure inside, it just comes out in the form of a beautifully colored, the red colored fountain.